cover.
Bomber Unit 3, standing by for instructions.
Relay that vessel's position to the fleet.
Helm, change course.
Much obliged.
Bomber Unit 3, we're at the rendezvous.
Approaching enemy! Torpedoes away! Returning. Returning. Returning to carrier. Returning to carrier.
Bomber Unit 4, we need help. Bomber Unit 5, they're all over us.
Concentrate fire on that combatant.
They're all over us. Payload away. Returning to base. Bomber Unit 4, we need help.
Reach the waypoint. We've arrived at the coordinates.
Torpedo Group 2. Ready?
Bomber Unit 5, they're all over us. Bomber Unit 5, payload away. Bomber Unit 4, payload away. Bomber Unit 4, returning to base. Bomber Unit 4, target ablaze. Bomber Unit 3, standing by for instructions. Returning to base. Bomber Unit 4, returning to base. Bomber Unit 5, returning to base.
Torpedo Group 2. Airborne. Where do you need us?
You're too kind. Commence bombardment of the hostile target.
Bomber Unit 3, ready to go.
Reach the waypoint. We've arrived at the coordinates.
Direct fire to that target.
Torpedo Group 2. Taking fire!
Affirmative. Commence bombardment of the hostile target.
Airborne.
Under attack!
Bomber Unit 4, ready to go. Bomber Unit 5, rearmed and ready.
Weapon armed. Engaging target.
Bomber Unit 4, in the air.
Returning. Returning to carrier. Returning to carrier.
change course.
Torpedo Group 2, we need help!
Helm, rudder arrangements.
Bomber Unit 4, they're all over us. Bomber Unit 5, we're at the rendezvous.
Relay that vessel's position to the fleet.
Engaging. Wish us luck. Returning to base. Payload away. We need help.
Torpedo Group 2, ready for action!
Returning. Bomber Unit 3. We need help. Bomber Unit 5. Returning. Bomber Unit 3. Engaging. Wish us luck.
Torpedo Group 2, airborne! Where do you need us?
Returning.
Helm, change course.
Bomber Unit 3. Returning to base. Bomber Unit 4. Rearmed and ready.
Weapon armed, engaging target!
Bomber Unit 4. In the air.
We've destroyed a cruiser.
Returning to carrier!
Bomber Unit 5. Rearmed and ready.
Reached the waypoint. We've arrived at the coordinates.
Request
Bomber
follow
Unit 5.
designated hostile.
Airborne.
Helm, change course.
Bomber Unit 3. Rearmed and ready. We need help.
You're
In
too
the air.
hot.
Bomber Unit 5. We need help. Engaging. Wish us luck. Returning to base. We're at the rendezvous.
Torpedoes! Port side!
Payload away. Bomber Unit 3.
Torpedoes!
Stand by for
Port side!
instructions. Bomber Unit 3. We need help. Bomber Unit 5. Returning. Payload away. Returning to base.
Torpedo Group 2, ready? Airborne and holding.
Wadmill cruiser sent to the bottom.
Bomber Unit 4. Rearmed and ready.
Under attack! Approaching enemy! Torpedoes away!
Bomber Unit 4, airborne.
Returning.
Rearmed and ready. Airborne. Bomber Unit 3, airborne.
Torpedo Group 2, returning to carrier.
Helm, rudder amidships. Helm, change course.
Bomber Unit 4, they're all over us. Bomber Unit 5, we need help. Bomber Unit 3, we're at the rendezvous. Bomber Unit 4, engaging. Wish us luck. Bomber Unit 4, returning. Returning.
Torpedo Group 2, ready.
We're at the rendezvous. Bomber Unit 3, standing by for instructions.
Thanks.
Airborne, where do you need us?
We've reached the waypoint.
Bomber Unit 5, we need help! We need help! Bomber Unit 3, engaging. Wish us luck. Bomber Unit 5, payload away. Bomber Unit 3, returning. Returning to
Engage
base.
these hostile aircraft.
Weapon armed, engaging target.
Bomber Unit 3, standing by for instructions.
Returning.
Bomber Unit 4, rearmed and ready. Returning to base.
Hardly a challenge.
Returning. Bomber Unit 4, airborne.
Torpedo Group 2, under attack! Torpedo Group 2, awaiting orders. Returning.
Victory is within reach.
Bomber Unit 5, we're at the rendezvous.
Torpedo Group 2, awaiting orders.
We're at the rendezvous. They're all over us. Returning to base. Bomber Unit 3, enemy warship sunk. Woohoo! They're all over us. Bomber Unit 4, rearmed and ready.
Torpedo Group 2, awaiting orders.
Standing by for instructions. Bomber Unit 5, engaging. Wish us luck. Bomber Unit 4, in the air. Returning. Bomber Unit 3, they're all over us.
Torpedo Group 2, taking fire!
Engaging. Wish us luck. Bomber Unit 3, returning to base.
Weapon armed, engaging target.
Payload away. They're all over us.
Torpedo Group 2, returning.
Returning to base.
Torpedo Group 2, destroyed! No survivors!
We've reached the waypoint.
Hostile aircraft carrier sunk.
Pro here, and I'm going to be comparing every single model of every iPad ever made all in one video. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a very long time, just never really got around to it. Basically, I want to give you an idea about the timeline of the iPad, from where it began to where. What's up guys, and here I've got the iPad mini 4 and I'm going to be comparing it to the iPad mini 3 and giving you guys a good idea of how they stack up. And let me tell you, there is a lot that's changed. Now, beginning with the design, it's actually been slimmed down, it's a lot easier to hold now, and overall it's just a more beautiful device. The buttons and the microphones on the device have been rearranged, the mute switch has been removed in order to make this thing a little bit slimmer. The speaker grills on the bottom of the device are now in one row instead of two. Now, the iPad mini has been neglected by Apple lately, so they wanted to change it up with the iPad mini 4, and they've put in a whole bunch of improvements. And I just want to say that the design of this thing does look great. I mean, it's very slim, and besides that, the display is where most of the changes are at. Now it's laminated, so the LCD and the top layer of glass are now fused together, which makes the contrast ratio a little bit better, the display a little bit crisper, and it's overall just more pleasant to look at. Now, the real changes come in the lower light test. But I just wanted to take a moment to mention that Apple did also change the type of coating they placed on the display. Now it's less reflective, and fingerprints are supposedly supposed to be less apparent. However, for me, I can see them more when the display is off. When the display is on, you can't really tell on either one. When looking at both of these displays side by side, the iPad mini 4 has a lot of life to it. The mini 3 looks dull and kind of gray. It's more apparent when you're actually looking at photos in the dark. So on the left is the iPad mini 4, and it's a little bit more vibrant. There's more life to the photos, and in person you'll be able to tell more of a difference, but there certainly is one. Now, the main change in the iPad mini 4 is the internal hardware. So Apple stuck the A8 chip from the iPhone 6 into it. They slightly overclocked it at 1.5 gigahertz, and they stuck 2 gigs of RAM inside. This paired with iOS 9 made for a great combo. This thing runs great. So just using the devices, you'll notice that the iPad mini 4 is so much more responsive. I mean, on iOS 9, the iPad mini 3 doesn't fare as well because it doesn't have 2 gigs of RAM, and all around it's just, you know, a lot smoother. So opening up applications, you'll definitely notice that the Mini 4 has a slight advantage over the Mini 3. Things load faster, especially sub menus. So the more loaded your device is, of course, the bigger of a difference you will be able to tell. The iPad Mini 3 has a 1.3 gigahertz dual core, so it's 0.2 gigahertz less, and it's a lot older architecture. It's the Apple A7 chip. So all of this is painfully apparent. I mean, if you're going to be using these side by side, you can totally tell the Mini 4 is a lot more responsive. So let's go ahead and do a Geekbench and see how these actually stack up in terms of numbers.
Make a note in the log. Operation has commenced on schedule.
Helm, change course.
Ready?
Bomber Unit 3, ready to go. Bomber Unit 4, rearmed and ready.
Torpedo Group 2, airborne. Where do you need us?
Airborne.
Aye, support is available.
Bomber Unit 5, in the air.
We've reached the waypoint.
Bomber Unit 4, in the air.
Torpedo Group 2, under attack!
reached the waypoint.
Standing by for instructions. Standing by for instructions. Standing by for instructions. Standing by for instructions.
Torpedo Group 2. Under attack! Torpedo Group 2. Standing by.
Standing by for instructions. We're at the rendezvous. Standing by for instructions.
Returning to carrier.
We've reached the waypoint.
Returning to carrier.
Standing by for instructions. Bomber Unit 4. Standing by for instructions. Engaging. Wish us luck. Bomber Unit 3. Returning to base. Returning. Bomber Unit 5. Standing by for instructions. Standing by for instructions.
I need a scout.
We need help.
We've reached the waypoint. We've arrived at the coordinates.
We need help. Engaging. Wish us luck.
Request fire on the
Returning
designated
to base.
hostile.
Returning.
Ready?
Helm, change course. Helm, rudder amidships. Helm, change course.
Bomber Unit 5. We're at the rendezvous.
Torpedo Group 2. Airborne and holding.
Returning.
Bring all available fire to bear on that target.
Bomber Unit 5. We've been massacred. Returning to base. Bomber Unit 3. Rearmed and ready.
Affirmative.
Bomber Unit 3. In the air.
Thank you.
Torpedo Group 2. Standing by.
Confirmed. We are moving to assist.
Bomber Unit 4. Ready to go.
Torpedo Group 2. Taking fire.
Commence bombardment of the hostile
Bomber
target.
Unit 3. We're at the rendezvous. Bomber Unit 4. Airborne.
Relay that vessel's position to the fleet.
Bomber Unit 3. They're all over us.
Signal the
Bomber
fleet
Unit
we need
5.
support.
Rearmed and ready.
Torpedo Group 2.
Affirmative.
Weapon
Message
armed.
received.
Engaging target. Returning.
Concentrate fire on that combatant.
Bomber Unit 5. We've been massacred!
Acknowledged.
Ready?
Signal the fleet, we need support. Get out of there!
Torpedo Group 2,
Affirmative.
airborne and
Message
holding.
received. Relay that vessel's position to the fleet.
Bomber
Commence
Unit 4,
bombardment of the hostile
rearmed and
target.
ready. They're all over us!
Relay that vessel's position to the fleet.
Bomber Unit 5, engaging. Wish us luck. Bomber Unit 4, airborne.
Torpedo Group 2, under attack!
Bomber Unit 3, rearmed and ready. Bomber Unit 3, airborne.
Approaching enemy! Torpedoes away!
Bomber Unit 4, we need help.
Returning.
Bomber Unit 5, target ablaze. Payload away. Returning to base.
Hostile battleship sunk!
Returning to base.
Helm, rudder amidships.
Bomber Unit 3, standing by for instructions.
Returning to carrier.
Bomber Unit 5, we're at the rendezvous. We need help. Returning to base. Engaging. Wish us luck. Returning to base. Returning. Bomber Unit 4, rearmed and ready.
The enemy force has gained the upper hand.
Airborne.
Dispatch the firefighting crews! Now!
Airborne! Where do you need us?
Bomber Unit 5, rearmed and ready. They're all over us.
And here we are. So there isn't as more hardware intensive application, 7 chip. So all of this more improvement in performance and actually split screen multitasking, not just the slide over that the Mini 3 has. So you can actually run simultaneously 2 apps at the same time and also play picture in picture from Safari or any at the same time. I mean, actually. And that of course is the sacrifice you have to pay in order to get such a slim, small device. However, battery life remains the same at 10.
What's up, you guys? Eddie of Fliptronics. So I'm going to give you guys a quick tip on how to split the screen on your iPhone 7. So unfortunately, you guys can't do this just from the settings. You can actually do this on the 7 Plus, 6 Plus, and 6S Plus, but when it comes to using the 7, there's really no option for it. The good news is, you guys, there's actually an app in the App Store you can check out. I've got it open right now, but it's called Split Web Browser Fast Multitasking. It's got a lot of positive reviews on it. I'll leave a link in the description, but when you click this little icon, then you can make it, split the screen like that. I haven't actually tried this. Okay, so yeah, it does work sideways too, so you can use it. But like I said, you guys, it is a cool app. It's free. There's no ads that pop up in this, and it's a convenient way for you to split the screen if you're looking, to do that on your iPhone 7. But like I said, you guys, there's no way to do it from the settings, but you can do it this way. It works really well. As always, you guys, I hope this helps you out. I'll leave a link in the description for that app. Stay tuned for more, and be sure to subscribe. What's up, you guys? Eddie of Fliptronics. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to split
away every time. 6.1 millimeters thin, so still not quite as skinny as the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2, which is 5.9 millimeters, but, well, it's skinny enough. It's also gotten lighter as well. It weighs 0.65 pounds, which is 10.5 ounces, and 298 grams for those of you who speak metric, 18% thinner. A bit lighter. Now, Apple did reduce the size of the battery inside, but they managed to keep the battery life the same at 10 hours of use time. Now, while Apple might be a little overly optimistic about their claims for CPU performance improving from generation to generation, they're pretty darn accurate on this when it comes to battery life, so you can expect to really get 10 hours out of the Wi-Fi only model. This is available in Wi-Fi only, or you can get it with Wi-Fi plus cellular, which means 4G, LTE, 3G support also built in. All the carriers will offer it as usual. It's going to be $130 more than the Wi-Fi only model. Same pricing, $399 gets you a 16 gig. Spend $100 more and you jump all the way to 64 gigs. Such a deal. That's actually pretty fair. And then if you want to go up to 128 gigs, it's yet another $100. And you're looking at a very expensive little tablet at that point, considering it would be $599 for the 128 gigs. And again, $130 more if you want the 4G LTE inside. Its biggest competitor may well be the iPad Air 2, which we have back here. Obviously, which one you pick probably isn't so much about price. $100 separates these two. It's more about what size screen you want and how much tablet you want to carry around. They're both pretty thin. They're both, relatively speaking, light for what they are. Just how much screen real estate you want. And nowadays, with the iPhone 6 Plus and 6S Plus being so popular, I suspect that a lot of people are looking at the bigger tablet again, but you never know. And in a way, this is sort of the iPhone 6 Plus, isn't it? 7.9 inches versus 5.5 inches for Apple's larger phone. Inside, we do have performance improvements. We've gone from the A7 CPU that was in the iPad Mini 3 to the A8 CPU. That's the same CPU used in the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. Now, it's not the A8X used in the iPad Air 2, which is actually a 3-core CPU. This is a dual-core, but still, it is clocked higher than the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus at 1.5 gigahertz, and it has the magical 2 gigs of RAM, finally. Performance is not going to beat the iPad Air 2, which is the fastest Apple tablet, but it's pretty darn respectable. You can see our 3D Mark Ice Storm Unlimited score here is 18,278. That is a market improvement, and honestly, it plays games quite well. We'll show you a little bit of GTA in action a bit later so you can see that. This is running iOS 9 with a new style of multitasking right here, and we'll switch over to our Geekbench 3 score next. And you can see what that is for single and multi-core. Also a market improvement, but not as fast, of course, as the iPad Air 2. In practice, it feels quick and fluid.
Fighter Squadron 3, standing by. Fighter Squadron 2, we've been engaged.
And of course, you can do the multitasking. You do a swipe in from the side, and you can pick another app that you want to multitask with. Photos, which is where we had a screenshot of our benchmark. And if you drag around, you can continue on. You can pull this, and you can choose another application. So you've got that kind of functionality going on. Let's go back to photos again for a minute. You see we have the little divider over here, so you can do a 50-50 split or whatever you like in the way of a split, and have both of those loaded and actually active at the same time. There have been a little bit of improvements to the cameras as well. You still have the FaceTime 1.2 megapixel camera that can shoot 720p video. The rear is 8 megapixel. Again, pretty much like the iPad Air and the iPhone 6, not the new 6S. It's going to have a higher resolution camera. They have supposedly improved the sensor, they claim, and also used somewhat faster lenses on the cameras too. You've got the usual photo, video, square modes. You've got time-lapse, slow motion, all the usual features. Panorama mode in Apple's typical kind of simple-to-use feature. You've got video right there. Obviously, just swipe on over to video. It's a perfectly capable camera. We're not really videoing anything very interesting right there, but you can see, nice big viewfinder. It looks pretty good.
Fighter Squadron 3, standing by. We need help.
That looks pretty good, actually. So as tablets go, nice enough. Audio is courtesy of 2 speakers that are firing from the bottom. We have the lightning port down there for your charger and for your signal transfer. Enjoy. Has Bluetooth 4.2 for Bluetooth peripherals, keyboards are usually a popular one, headsets, headphones, that sort of thing. And it has dual-band Wi-Fi 802.11ac. If you get the LTE model, it'll support LTE 150 megabit per second. The lock slider is gone here, so no more is that. The usual chamfered shiny metal side over here. Up top is the power button and our headphone jack. And on this side is the volume. Now you can get this in your choice of space gray, which this is, or gold, or the old-fashioned silver, your choice. Now with the Touch ID scanner embedded in the home button, you can use this to authorize purchases from the Apple App Store. You can also use it for other kinds of online purchases. It does not use NFC for point-of-sale kind of purchases, because doing boom kind of against an MSC terminal with a tablet would be just kind of awkward, wouldn't it? So not free use at terminals in stores, but yes, you can use it when you're shopping online. No problem there. The display is the usual Retina display. 2048 by 1536 is a IPS display, and it is now a laminated display. Reduces reflections, also allows them to make it a little bit thinner. Repairability, well, you know, this is an iPad. Not real easy to fix if something goes wrong.
Bomber Unit
It's
7.
really an iPad. And
Airborne.
honestly, a lot of tablets these days, the thinner they are,
Reached the
the
waypoint.
harder they are to
We've
repair.
arrived at the coordinates.
Now, before we get into a little video playback and gaming, I just want to mention that the iPad Mini 3 is no more on Apple.com, or be gone from Apple stores soon enough, but they will keep selling the Mini 2 for those of you who want to save some money. It still has the Retina display, has the older A7 CPU inside, and no Touch ID. So let's see how it looks for playing media. Now again, this is a 4:3 aspect ratio, so you can get the black bars when playing video. Also true of the new Samsung Galaxy Tab S2 line. Speakers are firing from the side over here. We're using the YouTube app.
Bomber Unit 6.
This is Lisa from Mobile Tech
Airborne.
Review.
Fighter Squadron 2. Type it down. Fighter Squadron 2. Awaiting orders. Fighter
Now
Squadron
our
3.
video, our playback volume is about 2/3 right now. It certainly looks good enough, and the speakers are decent. You know, they're not super loud. It is a smaller tablet. Not going to rock anybody's world too much, but good enough to hear what's going on. As ever with the iPad, a big part of the story is apps, not just the bundled apps. You can see here we've installed Apple's Pages, which is their word processor. You also have their Excel-compatible spreadsheet. You've got their PowerPoint presentation for you. You've got GarageBand here. You have iMovie if you want. So pretty good ecosystem. And there are a lot of tablet-optimized apps available for the iOS ecosystem. That's one place where it does have a leg up over Android. So you can go to town with apps. In fact, if you're wondering why does anybody use a tablet camera, well, there's all sorts of interesting apps, like, for example, to
Standing by for
film
instructions.
your golf swing so you can improve on it. One's for baseball, all that sort of thing. So really healthy app ecosystem there. Next, we're going to play GTA San Andreas, and we're going to have our staff member play the game because the cat has pulverized my hand, as some of you know who follow my Twitter feed, so I am not playing two-handed games right now.
Bomber Unit
Alright, so we have our gaming editor standing in for me and playing, thanks to my lame hand. Now, GTA with the bicycle is harder than GTA with the car, but nonetheless, look at the graphics running is very good here. These ports are actually pretty demanding, and it's looking very good, very smooth.
Fighter Squadron 2.
Our gaming editor does better than I do. Look at that. Well, anyway, the game looks pretty nice, and if you want to know about demanding titles, this is one of the more demanding games that you can play. Plays fantastic. Looks great.
Payload away. Engaging. Wish us luck.
Fighter
So
Squadron
all
2.
in all, the iPad Mini 4 is a compelling, and if you have big hands like me, a one-handed tablet, which is not an easy feat these days, even despite the 4:3 kind of wider aspect ratio. Like a lot of technology we've seen, it's just getting thinner, faster, lighter. There's nothing earth-shattering in the way of new technology here. It's just the fastest, smartest iPad Mini yet, and with a beautiful design, a great ecosystem of accessories and applications on board. You know, it's hard not to say that it's a good tablet. It is a good tablet. So that's the Apple iPad Mini 4. They don't bother putting Retina in there anymore because, well, these days are all Retina. Even if you go back to the still in the market iPad Mini 2, that is the one with Retina display as well. As you might guess from the name, yes, it has a very nice display. It still has that beautiful metal build quality, thinnest one yet, 6.1 millimeters, even lighter than ever. A very competent 8-inch tablet. If you're into the Apple ecosystem, well, you're not going to go wrong here if you prefer the smaller size. Its biggest competition is probably the 9.7-inch iPad Air 2. For those of you who are looking for a tablet, well, maybe even the iPad Pro, but I think that's 3 times as big as this guy. Anyway, there are certainly other tablets on the market, 8-inch tablets, some of them very nice Android tablets. This is not a smackdown or comparison, but for those of you who are looking for a nice 8-inch tablet, and particularly like Apple's ecosystem, it's hard to go wrong with the iPad Mini 4. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. You should visit our website for the full written review and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Fighter Squadron 2. Airborne.
Bomber Unit 7.
Let's
Ready to
talk
go.
iPad Mini 4.
Hey guys, where are you? David DeFranco here from daviddefranco.com. Recently I got this little beauty, my iPad mini 4 in gold, 64 gigabyte Wi-Fi, and I am absolutely loving it. So for this video, I want to go over 7 things that I specifically enjoy about this iPad mini 4. Starting out with number 1, I gotta say the iPad mini 4 is significantly faster than the iPad mini 3. Because, let's not forget, last year's iPad mini revision was barely a revision at all. We got Touch ID and the choice of gold. Boom, that's it. But this year is a completely different story. It's basically iPad Air 2 like performance, minus the 88X chip. But even with that said, we still get an 88 chip, which is significantly faster than the iPad mini 2 and the iPad mini 3. A great example of this performance boost is you barely see any drops in frames like you used to. Aside from a few bugs in iOS 9, Notification Center drops down perfectly. Switching apps, while still a little laggy here and there, is a lot better than it previously was. And just overall, animations are a lot snappier, which definitely makes me happy because I enjoy paying attention to the small details. Alright, so moving on to point number 2, the color gamut, in other words, what I like to call the color saturation, is so much better. It is finally on par with full-sized iPads. Even dating back to the iPad 1, color saturation has always been better on the full-size iPads. And unfortunately, with the iPad mini 1, 2, and even the iPad mini 3, color saturation always had a muted feel to it. But thankfully, that is a completely different story now with the iPad mini 4. Saturation is pretty much on par with the iPad Air 2. Colors pop so much better, and it's just overall a more pleasant experience. Item number 3, and this is definitely a very nice one. Speakers are much louder. Now, a great example of this, let's mount my iPad mini as such. By the way, I will link this case in the description. Let's go to Apple Music and play a Mario game.
Engaging. Wish us luck. Bomber Unit 6.
Now this is Max Ryan. Not bad. And previously it was about... What's getting? Notifications. Previously it was right about... Which still is not crazy bad. But still, the iPad mini 4 speakers are so much louder. Listen to that. Definitely a nice perk and something I'm enjoying about this iPad mini revision very much. So moving on to point number 4. Multitasking, it's there. And it works great. Again, this is essentially an iPad Air 2, but in a 7.9-inch form factor. Seriously, it is that awesome. Slide over works flawlessly. Split view is just great. And yes, you can even do picture-in-picture video thanks to iOS 9. It's just overall an awesome experience, and it's definitely a step in the right direction in terms of tablets eventually replacing notebooks. Now, obviously, that's a long ways off yet, but I do think Apple has the right vision in mind. Number 5, and that is all about cameras. Okay, so I understand there's some debate about using an iPad as a camera. Me personally, I don't care what you take your pictures with, it just comes down to your eye and the subject that you're shooting. If you want to use an iPad Air 2, then go ahead, enjoy. If you want to use an iPad mini 4, enjoy. And if you want to use your first-gen iPhone, yes, I know the camera's not that great, still though, enjoy. It's your choice. Do not let others tell you what to use in terms of photography. Sorry guys, I just had to rant real quick. I just can't stand the idea of somebody telling others what to do with their own personal purchases. Anyway, getting to the point, the iPad mini 4 does feature an 8-megapixel eyesight camera, which is definitely very nice, and you do get 1080p video, which is very cool, and the FaceTime HD camera is now 1.2 megapixels, which may not seem great, but that's still a big update from the iPad mini 2 and the iPad mini 3, especially considering this new camera can record 720p video. It's not a bad camera, I'm just so happy to have something. Moving on to item number 6, and that is the fact that the iPad mini 4 is amazingly thin and light. This is annoying. No case should ever be this difficult to take out a freaking tablet.
Bomber Unit 6.
Anyway,
in the air.
just take my word for it. The iPad Mini 4 is stupidly thin and light. The first moment I picked it up, I could not believe at how much thinner and how much lighter it felt compared to the iPad Mini 3. Okay, so while I was frustrated with the removal of the tablet from this case, I will still say this case is definitely worth $10. Just that removal process.
Victory is
Anyway,
within
I'm getting
reach.
ranty. Item number 7, and the most important one of all, this feels like a new device. This honestly feels like a new device. Okay, so yes, this isn't a particular feature that I enjoy about the iPad Mini 4. But guys, just believe me when I say, this honestly does feel like a completely new device when compared to last year's iPad Mini. I cannot stress that enough. Last year's revision was nice because you got the option of gold and Touch ID, but aside from that, you didn't get a CPU. You didn't get a visual color camera, louder speakers, better cameras, nothing. It just overall wasn't that great of an outfit, and I'm so glad to see that Apple is giving the iPad Mini. Okay guys, there you go. 7 things that I like about the iPad Mini 4. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you lose it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you.
Tally-ho!
Peace.
Torpedoes, port side! Fighter Squadron 2, standing by.
Bomber Unit 7. We need help.
Report from below deck. We're taking on water. Fighter Squadron 2, awaiting orders. Fighter Squadron 3, awaiting
What you
orders.
see in science fiction, tech fiction, very quickly become possible.
If you point the structure sensor out into the world, you're capturing the world.
It's like giving some sort of a superpower to the average Joe device.
What if you could give your mobile device a new sense? The ability to not just capture the world in two-dimensional images, but to actually understand it in 3 dimensions. The structure sensor does just that. It's the world's first 3D sensor for mobile devices.
What I really am excited about with the structure sensor is it makes it so easy. You can clip it to a mobile device and walk around your world, basically pull your world into a digital form.
My name is Jeff Powell, founder of WOWS. We're passionate about giving devices the ability to see and understand the world around them. This isn't about taking pictures. It's about computer vision and interaction. We call it spatial computing. It's much bigger than just us, and it's going to change the way we interact with the world. Let me show you what you can do with it. You'll be able to capture every dimension of an entire room in a matter of seconds. And you can send a model to your phone so you can get any dimension you need at any time. You'll be able to easily capture and send 3-dimensional objects across town or across the world and make decisions together even when you're apart. You'll be able to play games, games where the real world becomes the game world.
I love to doodle, make sketch notes, and I love the iPad. I also love the feel of my pen traveling on a sheet of paper. But I couldn't find any solutions that matches the power of the iPad and that were as comfortable as writing on paper. So, me and my friends invented iSketchNote. iSketchNote is a smart iPad cover that integrates our new digitizing technology with the convenience of a notebook. It allows you to digitize your sketches and notes in real time with the added value of a hard copy for your files. Enhance your work on your iPad. Back it up in your gallery. Share it immediately on your favorite social media site.
This is our product, Bridge, the most complete companion for your iPad.
With a click, you can type with the efficiency of a laptop.
With a flip, you can get the perfect viewing angle.
With a touch, you're connected to a stereo speaker system.
Using a patent-pending clamp, Bridge attaches to your iPad, giving it the functionality of a laptop.
Bridge has a full-size keyboard specific for iPad use. It's ergonomically designed and has hotkeys that correspond to iPad functions.
Bridge has an integrated stereo speaker system, offering a huge improvement over the limited iPad speaker.
Bridge is a versatile stand, offering close to 180 degrees of positioning. The hinge provides a secure and smooth rotation.
To attach your iPad, slide it in until it clicks. Our patent-pending technology holds your iPad secure. To remove it, simply pull firmly.
There are a world of iPad cases, keyboards, stands, and speakers. Bridge is different. Design Bridge to be worthy of your iPad.
Made from machined aerospace-grade aluminum, not painted plastic. Bridge boasts a minimalist aesthetic and an intuitive interface.
When attached to your iPad, Bridge is about as thin and weighs about as much as a MacBook Air.
The Bridge is self-contained and mobile. There are no cables or wires. Connecting is as simple as pairing a new Bluetooth device to your iPad.
Bridge is designed for everyone. Whether you're studying for class, watching a movie, or working in your office, with Bridge, go do more.
Airborne, where do you need us?
Everyone uses pen and paper. They will never be replaced. However, more and more people are embracing their iPads and tablets to take notes and capture ideas in a new hybrid analog-digital workflow. These users continuously switch between paper and tablet during the day. This means they require both a traditional ink pen and a touchscreen stylus. While both are great on their own, we would prefer to have our everyday pen be compatible with iPads and tablets with a click of a button, eliminating the need to carry both items. This was the inspiration for the Lunatic.
Bomber Unit 6, airborne.
Fighter Squadron 2, standing by. Fighter Squadron 3, awaiting orders.
Under attack! Torpedo Group 4, standing by.
Fighter Squadron 3, awaiting orders.
We've reached the waypoint.
Tally-ho!
Bomber Unit 6, standing by for instructions. Bomber Unit 7, airborne.
Tally-ho!
Bring all available fire to bear on that target.
Fighter Squadron 3, engaging! Fighter Squadron 3, we've been engaged! RTB! Fighter Squadron 3, standing by! Returning!
Bomber Unit 6, they're all over us.
Fighter Squadron 3, we've been engaged!
Engaging, wish us luck. Returning to base.
Fighter Squadron 3, target down! Fighter Squadron 3, standing by!
Bomber Unit 6, we've been massacred.
Torpedo Group 5, ready for action.
We've reached the waypoint.
Airborne, where do you need us?
Bomber Unit 7, we're at the
What?
rendezvous.
Torpedo Group 4, awaiting orders.
Engaging! Fighter Squadron 2, ready! RTB!
Flank speed ahead. Capture that point. Bomber Unit 6, rearmed and ready. Returning.
Torpedo Group 5, standing by.
Fighter Squadron 3, RTB!
Torpedo Group 4, standing by.
Bomber Unit 6, in the air.
Fighter Squadron 2, everyone in patrol!
Standing by. Torpedo Group 4, awaiting orders.
enemy force has gained the upper hand.
Fighter Squadron 2, awaiting orders.
Standing by.
Fighter Squadron 3, airborne and beginning patrol.
Standing by. Awaiting orders. Standing by.
Bomber Unit 7, ready to go.
Torpedo Group 4. Weapon armed. Engaging target. Approaching enemy. Torpedoes away. Taking fire. Torpedo Group 4. Taking fire.
Fighter Squadron 2, standing by. Fighter Squadron 3, standing by. Fighter Squadron 3, we've been engaged.
Torpedo Group 4. Awaiting orders.
Fighter Squadron 2, tally-ho!
Torpedo Group 5. Standing by.
Target unit destroyed! Fighter Squadron 2, we've been engaged!
Bomber Unit 7, airborne. Bomber Unit 6, standing by for instructions.
Fighter Squadron 2, standing by.
Bomber Unit 6, we need help.
Fighter Squadron 3, we've been engaged!
Returning.
Returning. Bomber Unit 7, we're at the rendezvous.
Fighter Squadron 2, awaiting orders!
Commence bombardment of the hostile target.
Engaged! Tally-ho!
We cannot allow this defeat.
Target unit destroyed! Fighter Squadron 3, we've been engaged!
Damage control team, the issue is in hand.
Awaiting orders!
Firefighting crews, down!
Airborne. Where do you need us?
Awaiting orders! Fighter Squadron 3, standing by.
Torpedo Group 5. Under attack. Torpedo Group 4.
We cannot allow this defeat.